Get your daily dose of sunshine. Environment plays a significant role in our psychological characteristics that we display. Research has shown that hormones such as serotonin and melatonin regulation have ties with how sunlight can affect our mood. Light therapy can start with exposure to the sun. It is expected to have cognitive benefits included in our circadian rhythm. Some studies from Regards and from NASA have helped this still developing but accepted idea that lack of exposure to the sun can cause cognitive impairments. How do you feel when you're in a dark room? Are you having a bad day? The first thing that I do when I wake up in the morning is open up the curtains and let the rays of sun find their way into my window. You see, I work the graveyard shift, and I need to find ways to increase my sun exposure to benefit my body. In this presentation, I encourage you to learn how the sun exposure benefits us naturally, and let you make the call. Let the sun shine on your mood and get you feeling better today. This chart includes interactions from the study, as well as predicted probable cognitive impairments in reflection to the sunlight exposure, showing that people, like myself, who suffer from depression, have greater cognitive impairments than those without. The participants who suffered from depression, who had less exposure to the sun compared to those who had more sun exposure, had significantly more cognitive impairments than those without. This study helps to highlight the association between cognition and depression, and it supports the idea of how sunlight affects our cognitive functioning. Earlier, I mentioned our circadian rhythm. This works by the serotonin and the suprachiasmatic nuclei affecting the interior part of our hypothalamus, where our circadian rhythm is regulated. Many of our afferent neuronal tracts extend to the suprachiasmatic nuclei, and the retina hypothalamic tract begins with photosensitive ganglion cells in the retina. Afferent projections from the SCN stimulate the hormones melatonin and serotonin, which are directly responsible for our sleep-wake cycle. Our body is amazing, having the ability and the environmental factors to take in and get its needs. I often go outside for a boost of energy, even if it's simply walking outside in the yard to absorb the sun rays. Sunlight is involved in the way that our body uses calcium. Vitamin D is generated through the sun exposure. The season and time of day factor into how much exposure we are getting. Research suggests that we get between 5 and 30 minutes of sun exposure multiple times per week, as this directly impacts our daily routine and increases light exposure. Many body organs and cells have vitamin D receptors, and they are able to produce 25-dihydroxyvitamin D, which influence a large number of our biological pathways. Studies support that vitamin D deficiencies and many diseases and mental conditions are related. This is just a small peek at how our body uses the environment to influence its function. Thinking about how the sun is way out in space, and it can have such a profound impact on our body down to a chemical reaction using neural pathways and absorption to help us feel better. It's my hope that when you notice yourself feeling alone, sitting in the dark, unmotivated, or unenergized, that you take the initiative to reach out. Reach out for a ray of sunshine to provide you with some of the ingredients that our body uses to affect our cognitive functioning. Boost your happiness hormone, serotonin, in a more impactful way by knowing how it works and finding a way to integrate sunlight into your daily routine can impact how you feel and make your day better. Here are some references to the studies that I had previously mentioned.